Oh, my two assistant class prefects are already here waiting. That's fantastic. Aka yeah. Aka Jehovah nememma. Onu ebube ya. Keneru yari nebenda. Isi ikendo. Kenadi atata. Aka Jehovah. Aka Jehovah nememma. Aka ya. Aka Jehova na-eme mma ọnụ ebube ya nke na-erugharị n'ebe anyị nọ, isi iyi nke ndụ nke na-adịghị ata ata. Aka Jehova na-eme mma, aka ya. Aka Jehova na-eme mma ọnụ ebube ya nke na-erugharị n'ebe anyị nọ, isi iyi nke ndụ nke na-adịghị ata ata. Aka Jehova na-eme mma. My Spicy and AA, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming. I know it's a different time today, and I hope we'll have more people in the house. It's going to be a quick one. 1 hour, 1.5 hours maximum. Yes, happy Independence Day to Nigeria. But which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria is the question. God help us. I can't believe that Nigeria is 63 years today. And I don't know whether we are crawling. I don't know whether we have started walking yet. I don't know which one. But in everything, we give God all the honor and glory. We give you glory, Lord, as we honor you. We give you glory, Lord, as we honor you. You are wonderful. You are worthy to be praised. You are wonderful. You are worthy to be praised. I give you honor as we worship you. Give you glory, Lord, as we worship you. You are wonderful. You are worthy to be praised. You are wonderful. You are worthy to be praised. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you, Jehovah. Thank you, my Redeemer. Thank you, my dear Lord. Yes, let me see if I can share myself out. You are wonderful. You are worthy to be praised. We give you glory now as we honor you. I give you glory now as I honor you. You are wonderful. You are worthy to be praised. You are wonderful. You are worthy to be praised. Give you honor now as we honor you. We give you glory now as we honor you. You are wonderful. You are worthy to be praised. You are wonderful. You are worthy to be praised. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you, Jehovah. Thank you, my Redeemer. Thank you, my dear Lord. Thank you, oh Jordi. Thank you, Jehovah. Thank you, my Redeemer. Thank you, my dear Lord. We thank God so much. Today is the first day of the first month of the 10th, first day of the 10th month of this year 2021. We give God all the honor and praise. We worship his holy name for who he is. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. You are the King of kings, the Lord of lords. Papa, I worship you. I glorify your holy name for everything you do and continue to do in our lives. May your name be glorified. May your name be glorified. As we wait for more people to come in, we'll just continue to thank God for making it possible for us to see this month of October. We recognize the fact that not all the people that ended this month yesterday are alive to be here today. So in everything, we give God all the honor and glory. We give God all the honor and glory. Giving glory to the Lord, he reigns. Giving glory to the Lord, he reigns. He reigns, oh Lord, he reigns. Giving glory to the Lord, he reigns. Giving glory to the Lord, he reigns. Giving glory to the Lord, he reigns. He reigns, oh yes, he reigns. Giving glory to the Lord, he reigns. Thank you so much, AA, for being here. I think because I changed the time slightly today, my people have run away. But anyway, we are still going to continue. I have to talk about this important message. I have to bring this important message. Let's see if more people will come in the house, then we can talk. Hopefully, we're not going to be here for more than an hour, and we'll be done. But I needed to pass on this message about what happened. I don't know. Hey, did you hear what happened in Croydon? Was it on Thursday? I think it was on Thursday this week or Wednesday. But anyway, just this past week. Yeah. So I want us a lesson. That's our lessons to learn from that incident. That's what I want us to talk about today. And even if we don't have more people in the house, we're still going to go ahead and talk about that. And yeah. And then people can, yes, I did very awful. Yes, that's it. So I just want us to actually talk about that today because there are a few lessons to learn from that incident. And it could have been anybody's child. And it's not a case of, pointing finger or anything like that. No, it's a case of, what are we going to learn from this? How do we advise our children, especially as teenage children? How are we going to guide them using this particular ugly incident as an example? That's something I want us to talk about today, because something similar but in a different way also happened some time ago. And I thought, this is now getting beyond joke. We need to, talk about this. Yes, so let me see. Let me just wait. It could have been anybody. Of course, that's the thing. That's when something like this happens. It's not a finger pointing thing or blaming, oh, parents should have done this. It could have been anybody's child. So we need to talk about these lessons learned. What are we going to do as parents, with children of that age or even children of younger age? What are we going to do? How do we prepare them for years ahead of them? Because children tend to be maturing too quick for my liking. These days they are maturing too quick. They are knowing and doing things they should not know and be doing too quick. in a younger age, and it is a cause of concern. Okay, this happened on Wednesday. Yeah, this incident happened on Wednesday in Croydon, South London. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. I pray they listen, as I don't understand how they knew the boy as they're in a girls' school. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. So sad that a girl of that age, 15-year-old grown woman, growing into getting into a young woman, her life will just be cut short like that. It's ridiculous. It's just not something you want to even be hearing. I thought that the weather is changing, but need to put the need to put the fan on. The weather is changing, but it's still hot. We need to, yeah, we pray that they will listen and we'll keep talking, talking to our children, talking to, parents who are, because some parents are even worse than their children. So we have to talk about all this. Some parents don't get it. It's only when something happens that they will now think, oh my God, that could have been my child. My child did this and did that. So don't wait until it's your child or it is somebody that you know. This is the time to take action. We don't want this kind of news. It's so heartbreaking. I could not believe it. And for some time now, here in London, for some time now, we have not been hearing, oh, there's this stabbing there. I think leading up to COVID, since after COVID, the stabbings in London minimized a little bit. We don't hear as we used to. Pre-COVID, it was like, oh my goodness, every single time you hear about one stabbing or the other. Oh, Gores is in the building. Thank you so much for Gores. Happy new month. Happy Independence Day. Although we don't know where we are going, somebody who is 63 years old should be a grown man or woman. Yeah, but here we are in Nigeria, 63 years old today, and we don't know which way Nigeria. But it is well. What can we do? We'll just have to join Nigerian uh, word. It is well. Once anything happens, they'll say it is well, and that's it. Yeah. So, hmm. Yeah, makeup at a young age doesn't help either. Yes, and the type of makeup, the type of makeup is not just putting a foundation and lipstick on, because that's my own makeup. I love my lipstick. I have my lipstick and foundation on. Makeup is not just that for them. It's about this thing. How did somebody describe it? Somebody described it as the one they put on their eyelid that makes me to, I can't look at them properly. There's something, that's a way somebody described it, was so funny. that thing that they put in their, which one? What do they call it? Not the. Is it the brow? Is it the eyebrow? No, brow, eyelashes. Yeah, the lashes. Yeah, those ones you see. Very young children, they put that very heavy ones, and they'll be blinking their eyes like something has fallen into their eyes. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, eyelashes. That's the one. That's the one. All those things I don't understand. That kind of makeup, and especially at young age, and the exposure as well when they dress up. A girl will dress up and half of her breast will be hanging out. Does it mean that you don't know the size of your bra? Or what are you showing? What actually is going on? Why will you go to the shop? You know your size, you know your bra size. Why can't you get the correct size? Why will half of your breast be in your bra and the half outside there? For what? What has happened to modest dressing? And I remember when my boys were in school, there's a way you will dress, they'll send you back. They will call parents to come and take that child home. Oh, Sam Nkemremagoha, all the way from Munich. Thank you so much for coming, Sam. You're welcome to the house. Uju, lovely Uju. No, we thank you so much for coming. I started an hour later today as I put on my community. So today's live stream will not be long at all. It's just a case of praising God, thanking Him for the first month and the first day of October, and then to share what happened. AA is aware of the incident. I think Gores, I don't know, Gores lives in the UK. I don't know whether you heard the news, Gores, about what happened on Wednesday, the stabbing to death of our 15-year-old schoolgirl on Wednesday here in the UK in Croydon, not very far away at all from us. It's all around London. Croydon is not very far from London, and that's where this happened on Wednesday. It was heartbreaking, and there's various stories to the news. We don't know the actual, when something like this happens, you hear this, you hear that. And the first information was that a boy was trying handing over flour, or maybe to the girl, maybe to toast her or whatever. The girl refused, and that's what happened. Then the next story was saying that, the boy, the girl tried to get something from the boy, something that belonged to her friend, her teddy bear or something, and then she was chased and stabbed. There's so many stories to it, but do you know what? I'm not even here for us to know what the story was or is or whatever. The important thing is that a young life was cut short. We only heard about this because it was carried in the news. Things like this happen all the time. And yeah, it happens all the time. What is a 17-year-old boy doing with a knife? Where you are, Uju, in America, is a gun is the order of the day here. Here, the gun culture is not like it is over there. They use knife instead, and other kinds of things to do their own dirty jobs here. So it's mainly stabbing. We hear a lot of stabbing here in the UK, mainly in London area, and that was exactly what happened to this girl. She was stabbed, and the medical team came to her rescue, but it was too late. By the time they got to her, it was too late. Oh, Linda in the building. Linda, you're very welcome. Thank you, Linda. Yes, Linda Nenya. Wow. It will be, I started even later today, so it will be quite late where you are now, and you're still able to come. Thank you so much, Linda, for being here. We are talking about an horrible incident that happened here in the UK, near London, in Croydon, where a 15-year-old girl was stabbed on her way to school at 8:30 in the morning on Wednesday. So it caused a lot of, investigation and everything. And I just want us to look into that. But before we do, since we have got quite a few people in the house now, let us just have a quick prayer as we normally do on this live stream. We'll have to pray, and then we'll sing to welcome the month of October. I was singing already before when it was just myself and AA, and Spicy was here as well. I think she's going and coming, and I already sang some songs, but we'll just pray quickly, sing more songs, and then go into this. at the end of the day, this girl has passed away. It is the lesson learned from it. What are we, learning from these parents? How are we, what's going on with our children, especially teenage children? I've always said it, having raised up children who are adults now, I can say that the worst stage of my bringing up my children up were their teenage years, because at that time they don't know whether they're children or they're adults, but they think they are adults. Yeah, they think that they're no more children, they're adults. You don't tell me what to do. Some of them will go through teenage years, no problem at all. They won't give you an issue. I have ones like that, and I have ones that gave us really, told us that yes, I'm actually going through teenage years. Their hormones are going all over the place. There's a lot of issues involved in teenage years, and when your child goes the other way during teenage years, please don't blame. Once you've done what you can as parents and you have been praying for them, I cannot overemphasize on the need for prayers, because when they go out there and they want to join the crowd, they want to belong. But with your prayers and with constant talking, they have to know that they have been called apart, that they are different from their friends. Keep telling them that they have been called apart, that they're not the same as those people, and make them understand. Bra size is a fashion. Yeah. Sometimes I just wonder, it makes me, it throws me off as a lady myself. So you can imagine men, men who are sensible men, who also mention that it puts them off, that they don't like to look at them twice. But the other way is the other men who are into ladies. Once they hang out half of their breast out there, the man will be talking, and that's where their eyes will be. And then the next thing, they will start making advances, or they start touching, or they start doing this and that. And that's when they get themselves into trouble. So why can't ladies dress modestly? This half exposure, I don't understand it. I don't know the kind of fashion that is. Some of them will wear very short, clothing. I know some mothers also wear very short. If something drops, how are you going to even to bend down to pick that thing? What's it? I know it's some fashion for some people, though. They just love short dresses or short skirts or whatever, all to their own. But all I'm trying to say is that as a mother, you should be showing good example to your children, because if you are dressing like that, some mothers hang half of their breast out as well. Yes. Is it that you don't know your bra size? That you can't get the right and cover up and be modest and stop all this nonsense? Because to me, I don't understand that fashion. Call me old school anytime. I'll answer present 100 times. I'll rather be old school when it comes to that than some of the things I'm seeing today. Some parents encourage boyfriend and girlfriend at a very young. That's the thing. That's why I titled this live stream today, and growing so quick. What is all this? Why are we allowing our children to grow so quick? There'll be time that all these things, honestly, with experience, I'm telling people, I say, look, all these men saying side chick, side chicken, side hen, side whatever else you want to call them, there'll be a time. In fact, you'll be saying to yourself, what was it all about? What was I even chasing when I was younger? Because you'll be tired of all these things. Even if you want to do it twice a day, every day, you won't even be able, because age have caught up on you, no matter how. So what is it that we're even chasing? What is going on? Why would children no longer be children? Some 10, 11-year-olds are already sexually active. Their parents are already allowing them. They say, oh, hey, that's my girl's boyfriend. Hey. And you look at the girl is only 11. So what is going on? Parents, what is going on? Same here. Okay, bless and in Jesus' name. Teenage years are the fantastic years. We had our fair share with our oldest. Oh, of course. Tell me about it. AA. I heard the news and the cow incident with, yes, the coach. You mean the coach incident? Yeah, that one was in M53. I had that as well yesterday. The M53. That yesterday happened in M53, where school coaches were carrying school children. There were that's another one. There was 54 on board, but only one child, 14-year-old, was killed, and the driver. Now, it could have been anybody. There were 54 people in that coach that, I don't know, I think they said that the driver mounted a curb by mistake and the coach overturned. I saw all the pictures and everything. The coach overturned. And out of 54 people, only one child, who was 14, passed away, and the driver. Now, any parent coming there will say, why my own child? There are 54 other people there. Why is it that my child was the only one? And from the story, there were 4 critically ill in hospital, and I've been praying for them that God will please help those ones to recover. But that person that lost their life immediately, 14-year-old, how would the parents feel? She was there with other students, but she was singled out for that, for her life to end that day. So, wow, yeah, thank you for reminding me about that one as well, Gorex, because that only also happened a day or two after. All happened this week here in the UK. Now, that coach was full, but only one child passed away, and the driver of the coach. Anybody will be, in fact, our people will say, how can that be an accident? It was an arrow. It was an arrow. They sent it from their village, and so and all that nonsense. That's why it's very important. Let us please lay hands on our children, pray for them before they get out of the house. We cannot, cocoon them all the time. We cannot be with them all the time. But one thing we can do is to pray for them. Let our prayers guide them. Even if we're not able to lay hands on them every day before they go out, just be praying for them as they're going to school, as they're in school. You don't know what's going on. God, I don't know what's happening. Uju is in America. Sometimes you go to America, your child will be there and a gunman will come in. As I say, here in the UK, we don't have the fear of gunmen as such. It's stabbing that we normally get here. Let us be more prayerful. Things are happening. Building a child's self-esteem early in life is very vital. Yes, exactly. Let them have their self-esteem so that nobody can push them. Nobody can tell them, oh, look at how you look. You don't look that. You have got small boobs. You have got small bum. You have got that. Look at me. Look at that person. No. Tell them that the way they are is the best. That God could not have done a better job in creating them. Instill that in them. Tell them that they're the best thing that has ever happened to you as their parents. Boost, because children hear from parents more than they hear, although sometimes they go out, they still want to listen to their friends. But if you keep telling them how good, how beautiful, how wonderful they are, it will help a lot. Oh, Chison, come, welcome to the house. Thank you so much for coming. Ngozi's creativity, thank you so much for coming. Thank you all. We are talking about what happened here in the UK on Wednesday, where a 15-year-old girl was stabbed as she was going to school. And also there was a coach accident 2 days or a day after, where a 14-year-old girl also passed away. That's what we are talking about today. Yeah, would you tell me? Would you? I put that ads. I put the ads every 12 minutes. I haven't noticed one. Since you came in, have you noticed any ads playing? Maybe I didn't do it right. My people, sorry to interrupt, but it's just that I was working with this through a code, and Uju, in the middle of live stream now, you can actually put in some ads to help. So Uju, all of you here, did you notice any ads coming in? And have you noticed any ads in between me talking? Because I haven't noticed any. Just let me know. If not, after, I'll go back and check my settings. But I did. The ads are running. Were they running in between though, Uju? Because why am I not getting the alert then? Because you know what code said? That the best thing is when you are talking and the ads, because I've got my phone here, so I'm using it to monitor. I have watched one. In between, or when you came in, because I thought code said that if you have your phone on, you'll be able to tell when when the ads are running, so that you can keep quiet for a little while and then start again? Okay, you said yes. Okay, that's fine then. That's fine. Thank you for that. So, Ngozi's Creativity, I've already welcomed you. Oh, Nemozo is in the building. Nemozo, thank you so much for coming. All these non-YouTubers that are helping us, we do not take your love for granted. You and AA, thank you so much for your support, for what we do here. Thank you. I really appreciate you in the house. AA was here before I even came on. Thank you so much. No ads for me. You see, AA said no ads for her. I don't know what's happening with the ads. Let's leave the ads now and just get on with what we are doing, Jerry. Funke is in the building as well. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, my lovely people. I really appreciate you all. Yeah, I said that we're going to I've been talking just around what happened here in London that made me to come up to talk about this and this live stream. But before then, please just a quick prayer to flow with how Sunday live stream goes. We have to thank God. And before I start, just to welcome people who are just coming in now, Nancy Obebo and Ebu Niger Mama. Thank you so much for coming. Everyone, I welcome you all. And let us just have a word of prayer, and we'll go into what happened here in Croydon, very near to London, on Wednesday when a 15-year-old girl was stabbed. And also there's another incident a day or two after, where a coach overturned and a 14-year-old was also, her life was lost with the driver, but the rest were okay. So let us pray, and then we can go into that, and then we can. What I want us to do today is the lessons we have to learn from this as mothers, and especially those of you who have got young children, and those of us with grandchildren who are going to be helping our children, to say to them, look at this is what is going on. This is what you think you can do to help your own children. At the end of the day, we are their children. They have to bring them up the way they want, but we have to. Did you select to play at different intervals? Yeah, I did though. I did 12 minutes, my dear. Would you? I did 12 minutes, but it's not obviously not working. I'll look at it after. BMC is in the building. Thank you so much for coming, BMC. Thank you. So let us pray quickly. Father, we thank you for today. Today is the first Sunday of October, and today is the 1st of October, the first day of the 10th month of this year, 2023. Father, we thank you. We worship and glorify your name. We appreciate you. It's not all the people that saw yesterday are alive today to enter into the 1st of October. But here we are. You made it possible for all of us and our family members to be alive and enter the month of October. As you have seen us brought us into the month of October, Father, I pray and commit everyone here present, those who are going to come later, those who are going to replay this live stream, they are all covered in this prayer. I pray that this month of October, which is the second month of the Ember month, that you will be with each and every one of us. This is now leading into Christmas. Before we know it, in the next couple of months or just over a couple of months' time, it will be Christmas period. So I pray, Lord, as we gradually end this month, that all of us will end this month and look into and enter into the next year. So I pray, Lord, that whatever it is that we are searching for, that we are looking for, provided is in your will, Father, I pray that you grant our heart desires. And I want to also pray as we go into this discussion about these families, that this is just the ones we hear on social media or because it came in the news. A lot of these things are happening every single day all over the world. But we're just using this particular child as a point of contact to discuss and see how we can help ourselves as parents and how we can help our children as well to avoid hearing news and stories like this. Thank you, Father, for everything. For in Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen. Right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I think I've welcomed everybody. Nancy, I've already welcomed you. BMC, yep. I've welcomed everyone. So the story at the moment hasn't added up properly. The first I heard on that Wednesday was that the girl, the 15-year-old girl, who was stabbed on her way to school. Yeah, it's ads. Okay. Okay. Some people are seeing ads, some people are not seeing. I don't know. It's neither here nor there, but it's okay. So if you see ads in the middle of this live stream, please be patient. Just listen and then I'll continue. That's something YouTube have added for us to get a little pennies. You know, when we do this live stream, sometimes when you see the unless somebody super chatted you or you get some, apart from that, if it's just normal live stream that you did without anything, at the end of it, you said to yourself, what did I spend 2 hours for? But then we know that we are not, we know why we are doing this and why we are impacting lives, and that's the main thing. But if not, it can be quite disheartening. But hey, that's not what I'm talking about today. What we're talking about today is about this girl. So the first story was that another school boy was handing flour to her, maybe to toast her, to say I love you. You know, they start from the tummy to know what I love you means. They start from the tummy these days to know what we didn't even know. What I don't, some of the things I don't even know, even at this age. Some of the 11-year-olds in this country, they know it. So they start early to practice these things and to do all these things. Anyway, so the first story was that he was handing flowers over to her and she refused, and he got upset, and that was how she was stabbed. The next story was that the boy, took teddy bear, her friend's teddy bear, and she was trying to get it back from him, and that was how she was stabbed. Whatever is the case, no matter what the reason is, the thing is that such things should not be happening. Now, from all indication, the reason for this stabbing is something to do with boy-girl relationship. 15-year-old should be in school. All they have to care about, as far as I'm concerned, is my 5-year-old Ella was asking me when she will get married. Leave me alone, no. Hi, Chineke. It is well. Let me talk like you Nigerian people. It is well. Oh God, what does a 5-year-old, does she even understand what she's saying? 5 years, you see? Because they hear these things, and that is the time, obviously, I'm sure you do, you're a very sensible mom. That is a time you sit her down. In our own time, you can imagine if it was in our own time, or even the generation before us, a 5-year-old will come and ask the mother, when will I get married? Hey! The counseling she will receive is beating hell out of her. You want to start running out? You horrible child. Where did you learn this from? You who taught you that? You who born? You are not your mother. Who taught you? That's what will happen in those days. If you're a child of 5 asked the mother that kind of question, and the child will now be surprised and embarrassed and be like, what have I said that is wrong? Because as far as the child is concerned, she is asking a very honest and sensible question. But to the mother, it's like, hey, well, and they'll start dancing around and cussing and binding and losing. Where did she get this from? How did she even know what marriage means? And all that nonsense. We have gone past that stage. Now that Funke's daughter asked her that question, I know that she would have done the right thing by not just saying to her, who told you about Funke, you're laughing, but that's true now. That's what will happen in those days. You know, you may go, you open your mouth and be talking about marriage at 5 years. They won't even remember that you are only 5, that you are asking innocent question. They will just lose it. But the difference now is that we know better. I will assume so anyway, that we now know better. You will not sit that child down and you'll be smiling. I said to the child, hey, my dear, what do you know about? Ask them what they even know first. Because you may be surprised. What 5-year-old know now, you may be very surprised. Ask them, what do they even understand by marriage? You can even start from there. And then, in a nice way, explain to them that, that time for you is far. You have to finish your education. You have to do this. You have to mature first. You have to count all the things that they have to do first before they get to that stage. You put their mind at rest. So they now understand that, oh, I hear marriage all the time, so it's not really for me until so many years to come. So you have explained that to that child. So the child will now understand that even though I hear about marriage, it's not for me. My mommy said that I still have a long way to go, that I still have to do this, do that, achieve that. You see? So you've impacted that knowledge. So that child will understand, not the way people did it in those days. Hey, God help us. How we all turned out the way we did, it's only God's grace. Because sometimes when I remember the upbringing and especially, I don't forget my family, not family planning, sex education. When I started having my period first from my mom, that her sex education was something else, and yeah, and they will not sit down and discuss these things with you. And if you ask certain questions, it means that you are going to be wayward, you're going to be this. That's why you're asking, but you're asking innocent questions. Even in school in those days, I remember when we were in secondary school, we are doing a biology class. I will not forget that incident. We are doing biology, and one of our classmates, I think we were in secondary school year 1 or 2, when they were teaching us something about amoeba and then spermatozoa and this. And somebody raised their hand, one of the girls, and raised her hand and said, oh, please, sir, what is spermatozoa? Hey! The teacher is a male teacher. Do you know the reply? For those who don't hear Igbo here, I will just say the way he said. He said, Negi. Negi means your mother. And we're all like, what does spermatozoa mean then? And we now start looking at each other. What does that mean? Is that a bad thing? This is a teacher. This was a teacher. And in the 70s, that when I was in secondary school in the 70s, that was biology lesson. Now, what kind of nonsense is that? He said, excuse sir, and she stood up and asked this. I don't forget that. In the 70s, I still remember it to today. And I see you're laughing. I just said, excuse me, sir, what is spermatozoa? Nay. Hey. And we're all like, hey, we all became worried and anxious to find out ourselves. What does it mean? This is supposed to be a teacher that they pay at the end of the month to teach us students. And then something like that. That biology topic, that topic is biology. I know. In those days, the way they did things, you just wonder. Whatever it is not part of our body. You have to talk about it just the way you talk about part of your body. Call the name. We are very free to call head, hand. When it comes to the other one, we start looking for a word to use. And that's what confuses the children sometimes. Evelyn of Morogwe, thank you for coming. So I've digressed a little bit, in answer to what Funke said about what her child asked her. So as I say, I'm sure you would have answered that question, answered her question in the right way. So she will not now become and understand the whole idea of marriage and all that. Please, let us not go back to that kind of teaching and that kind of training that we received in those years, because it did not help us. For those of us who eventually turned out right and kept ourselves until we got married, it's God's grace. Because the way, or maybe that fear, because the sex education I got from my mother, the first day I saw she didn't even tell me about seeing my period at the age of 12 or 13. The thing is, after when it happens, then you go, mommy, look at what's going on. Oh, really? Hey, now it shows that you're not a woman. And what this means is that if you go near any man, you become pregnant. And if you ever become pregnant, I will disown you. And you are not going to be my child, because this is not. So that put a lot of fear in me. Disown me. What? Who else? Do I have another mother? Men, so if I go near a man, I'll become pregnant. So what's wrong? That's not a problem now. That's easy for me. So what did I do? Anything to do with men? Anything to do with coming near me? I'm like, this is what my mom told me. You are coming, and I just that's them. And this made me to actually not go very close to men. Seriously, I took what she said literally, and I ran with it. To the extent that when I was doing my nursing and midwifery at Iyenu Hospital, and my dad would always visit, because my mom obviously passed away earlier, shortly a few years after that wonderful sex education. And I was only 13, and she passed away when I was 17. So she passed away shortly after, but I ran with that coming near men, and I never did. In EN hospital, when we were doing our nursing at the start at the time, when men come to take some of my male friends, they take them to Onisha to go and eat ECAU, to go and eat all this. I'm like, hey, these people to Fiakwa. What my mom told me, I'm not going to go near those men, and actually that helped me in a way, even though it wasn't the right teaching, but it actually helped me, because my mind is that all those my friends that used to go with them down to Onitsha to ETC to Fiakwa, they are terrible. I'll be looking at them when they come back to see when their tummy will be big, because my mom told me that if you go near them, you'll be pregnant. I'll be looking at their tummy. 1 month, 2, they're not even pregnant. They're tummy. I said, anyway, maybe I had just, So at it, they will be laughing at me. Some of my friends, each time they do this, I'll be telling them off to Fiakwa, look at what you're doing. You are going to very soon be pregnant, this and that. And eventually, when I was getting married, they're all looking at me. You will get married, because to me, men are not, no, don't go near them. Yeah, this. So when I was eventually getting married, before most of them, they were like, hey, you, how come? How did it happen? Anyway, I would say you are coming to get me yes, honestly, that was me with men. I just run from them. Whether it helped me or not, I don't know, but not that kind of education is no more. Sex education is no more. It's not even going to work now anywhere. If you say that to your child now, you're just wasting your time, because it's not going to work. So the best thing is to tell them as it is and start on time to lecture them. If a 5-year-old is able to ask the mom, when am I getting married? That means that they know more than we did at the time, and you have to be a step ahead of the game to be teaching them. So going back to the story about this girl that was stabbed. Now, 15 years old, and the guy that stabbed her was 17. At that age, will your main priority not be to get your GCSEs, to get to the best uni, to finish that and get the best job and stabilize your life and all the rest of it? Is it not what your priority should be? But this day and age, even 15 is too old. They've started at before that age to do these things. Sometimes they come to the class. I have a few friends who are teachers in secondary school. They tell us some of the things they see in classroom, and they're not even allowed to say too much or to punish them or to do anything. She said that you'll be in the class, you look back and you see them, because it's mixed school. Most of the schools here, not most, but some of the schools, I think it's 50-50. Some of them are all girls, some of them are all boys, some of them are mixed. So you choose which one you want to go. Some parents really want their children to go to all mixed schools, so they can get used to how to handle boys as well. And some of them will be like, no, 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 I want my children, my girls, to go to all girls school, and I want my boys to go to all boys school. All to their own. They're all okay, depending on what comes out of it. But this particular 15-year-old girl that was stabbed was actually in an all-girls school. The boy that did the stabbing goes to a different school, but obviously they from what I could gather, they all meet in that bus. They meet each other, and that's when all these advances, baby, I love you, and was giving flower, and she was rejecting and all that. So what will not make a 17-year-old boy to get ready from home in the morning and have knife in his as part of his school? Is it part of a school curriculum that you have to have a knife in your bag, so that if anybody messes up with me, I'm going to use it? Sometimes people don't even understand this gun and knife and all the things they are handling, that they are, that they're just a deadly weapon. Maybe they think that they'll just use it to stab and make do. Sometimes they don't even understand fully what they're doing. But anybody who leaves their house with a knife or with any sharp instrument or anything like that, it can only destroy somebody. It's not going to make anybody better. So the best thing is to think twice before you do this thing. Now, this boy was found and he's being questioned. He's going to go inside. But the thing about here is, because of his age, they may not just give him a few years and he'll do half of it and he'll come out again. So I bet the girl is already gone. So that's why I'm saying that the important thing is to start on time to prepare our children. Let them get first things first. And don't encourage them to be dressing. For those of you who are coming now, I was talking before about people dressing up and half of their boobs are out. Does it mean that you don't know your bra size when you get to the shops, to the store to buy your bra? Or you are doing that on purpose to pop half of it out there to please who? All this nonsense are causing problems for us. Gift or no, sorry, I did not ignore you. Anita, I did not ignore you. When sometimes when I'm talking, I just want to flow. And I saw all of you coming in. Thank you so much for coming. So let me read some of the comments before I continue. And I'm going to drop the I know I said I'm not going to waste time today, but I still want to hear from anybody else who wants to say something, because especially those of you who are young mothers here, our own time, is gone. Mine are all adult. That's why I started my live stream an hour later today, because all our men are in the living room. I'm surprised they're not shouting now. They're watching football and shouting. Before I said to them, please, I'm in the next room doing my live stream. Yeah, so that's why we all went out for a meal. I did a video out of it, but trust them, they don't want their faces shown. When you hear their voices, where we are stuffing our faces with all you can eat Chinese, that video will be coming anyway. So that's why I started my live stream a bit late today. And while we are sitting this afternoon in the Chinese restaurant, we are all talking about when they were growing up, and they were laughing about some of the things we did that they felt was as strangers, that they said that we are so strict, but that looking at it now, they can see that it actually helped them. They are now talking about it and laughing. But at the time they were teenagers, they thought that we were being ridiculous. They thought that their friends are allowed to do this and the next thing, and that we're not allowing them. They thought that we didn't like them. But now, we just came back before I started this live stream, all of us, and we chatted about these things. We always like to chat about their young age. Anytime we meet up, we like to talk about these things. And they were all laughing. And he said at the time we thought we are just being too strict, and that our friends were allowed to do this. They were allowed to bring their girlfriends to their home, even at that age, 13. I'm like, is you 13? When you don't even know, you come back from school, you put your clothing on the floor, and I have to shout for you to wrap them. At 13 years, I'll come to your rooms, everything is on the floor. That's when you'll be talking about girlfriend. Who born you? Pico, where would you see? Pico, come and relieve me. Oh, thank you so much. Come and relieve me. Let me drink. If I continue talking as I feel today, it's just I'm coming up my hair. Funkebia. Yes, Pico, come. I love it when somebody comes. That is the time I have opportunity to drink.
You're right.
Thank you for coming, lovely Uju. Thank you.
Good evening. Yeah, I'm getting ready for church, but
okay.
This is everybody in the audience. Greetings, Mama. Greetings. Yes, so such a wonderful topic. So sorry about her. The girl that passed.
Yeah.
Some of these kids are not there mentally, and not everybody knows how to handle rejection. Do you understand? Yeah. And before he must have, taken that step, he must have discussed it with his peers, his friends. Oh, there's a girl I fancy, and I'm going to give her this flower and whatever. And you know how guys do. Are you sure she's going to accept? Of course she will accept. And then, now that the girl rejected it, shame of rejection,
yes,
drew him to do that.
Yes.
Which is not acceptable. And most of these kids are under some things, some influences. I cannot say.
Oh, yes, that's another thing. Yeah.
Are under some influences. So, like you said, we have to constantly pray for our children and cover them. And another thing is having a good relationship with your children. Don't treat your children as children. There are some parents that don't even sit down to talk with their kids. Even when they go, no, you go. No, go do. And the child has something important to tell you. Some of them are going through a lot in school.
Yeah.
And I don't want to I'll bite my tongue a little, especially children of color. It depends on the school where they are. If they're in a school where they don't have children of the same color, there's a lot of segregation and discrimination going on there. I'm telling you the gospel truth.
Yeah.
And as parents, you have to be attentive to your kids.
Yes.
Don't wait till they come to you. Sit down and talk with your children. I know peer pressure is too much. There's this story, I always like to tell a story of this girl in college. Her dad was very strict, in the sense that her dad didn't want her to make mistake. This is a very beautiful girl. Do you understand? But to her dad was very strict.
You see? Yeah. They
And
always,
yeah. And she has a friend, a girl that the parents are not so strict. She can do whatever she wants. And, her dad will tell her, why are you wearing wig to school? Don't wear makeup and all that. And when she dresses, how they show everything, her dad will send her upstairs. No, go and change. You're not going to school with that. But to her, other kids are doing the same thing. Other kids are wearing the same outfits that are revealing that this. And she was thinking, why? Why can't I do it? Guess what? And she met this guy. They became friends. And she was telling the guy, my dad is so strict. Do you know I'm still a virgin? And most of my friends are not virgins anymore. I want to, taste what they are tasting. And I want to do what they are doing. Do you know I've never gone to a club? Do you know I've never gone to a party? And the guy, being a bad person, said, okay, I'll help you. And the guy started leading her astray. And then she came to her best friend and said, guess what? That she has lost her virginity. And the friend was like, what? They said, yes, you too. You said you lost. The friend said, no, I'm still a virgin. I was just saying it because I didn't want people to laugh at me. Think about it.
Hey, you see?
She said, I just told you that because, there were so many girls there. I didn't want them to laugh at me. The girl said, what? She said, yes, I'm still a virgin. I said, but you told them that you go to clubbing and you don't. He said, no, I've been to the club only one time. And I went to the club with my family because we're celebrating my brother's birthday. See the deception out there. Now this other girl has gone, and even she now went deep into drugs. She almost lost it.
No.
Because of peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
And these kids, when their parents are shielding them, they don't understand it. They think that they are being strict. So I will never stop talking about parents having a relationship with your children, talking with them.
Very important.
Even when they're little, don't take them as little kids. No, go. Because they come with information. Do you know when my daughter was little, I took her to a playground, and she's a social butterfly. She loves everybody. And she saw these girls playing, and she went in, oh, hi. And she started, they were jumping the trampoline. She started jumping with them. And they started moving away from her because of her color, you see? And one walked straight to her and said, you're not allowed here. These are my friends.
Hey.
These are kids.
Hey.
I cried, and she cried. She came out crying. I looked at her. I'm like, it's okay, honey. It's their party, So maybe she invited her friends. She said, but I'm her friend. Because that time in preschool, they addressed one another as friends. There was no discrimination. So she just came in thinking that, oh, this is preschool. That was when she was in preschool. These are my friends. She wept bitterly that day. I looked at her. I'm like, no. No, honey. Why was she so mean? Why didn't she want me to play with them? I said, okay, let's go to the other side. Maybe they'll play with you, Then she brightened up. So kids, they go through a lot. Yeah,
they do.
But when I came home that day, she's like, it's okay, mommy. It's okay. And then, thank God, she's feeling well. But not every kid will forget about that.
Yeah.
It may stay with them, that rejection.
Exactly.
So
sorry. I know Funke is on the backstage. Sorry, my dear.
Okay. Let me go.
But thank you so much for that input, Uju. It's very important. We need to be attentive. We need to listen to them. We need to hear them out, because they go through a lot there. They go through a lot. We have to. Yeah. Funke, thank you so much for coming. I
Yes,
know.
ma.
Yes.
Good afternoon, ma. Good evening from here, ma. Happy
Yes.
Sunday and happy new month.
We are the same time as you here in the UK. It's only last Sunday of this October. We are going to be 1 hour behind. I think. Is it behind
Okay.
October? Yeah, but at the moment we have been the same time with you since
Yeah.
March this
The
year.
time. Wow. The time is 6 p.m. here. We are in 6 p.m.
Yes,
here.
the same time, But last Sunday of
Wow.
October, last Sunday of October, we're going to go forward. I can't remember.
Wow.
Either way, either backwards or forwards, one of the other. We are going to be 1
Okay,
hour
ma.
different from October ending. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, ma. So there are some things I want to also add on this topic
Yes.
we're discussing about. First of all, I think what happened with those kids might be a situation whereby the boy doesn't want to take no for an answer. You know, there are some kids like that.
Yeah.
They always have their way on
Yes.
everything. When they want something, it must be yes. Like the answer must be yes. So maybe probably when the girl turned him down, he doesn't want to
Yes.
take no for an answer.
That's
So
it.
we need
Yeah.
to teach our kids as well that it's not everything you want that you have your way
Yes.
on such things. Like even our kids, when they say they want this, when you are telling them no, let the no be no.
Yes.
It's not like after telling them no, you won't be up to 5 minutes, you would have given them that thing. You are saying no to
Next
them
time they
for.
will take you serious. Yes, exactly.
So let your no be no. Even my own kids, when they are fighting, the two of them, and they are like, oh, this person is not playing with you, I'll tell them, don't, if they are not playing with you, play on your own. Especially my first child, I will tell him before I give birth to your siblings, maybe you were playing alone. When they are not playing with you, you should be playing on your own. So because that is how that thing used to start too. That's how it starts. Like when someone is rejecting them in like when they get to the outside world and they don't want to accept rejection, it's not a good thing for a kid.
No.
Yeah. And they're also talking about talking about sex education. It's also something we need to these African parents are on this table, like all African tables, they are sitting on this table, like most of us, we are sitting on this table. Even my own case as well. My own case was even worse because my parents were pastors. And you know, such things is forbidden to discuss in our house, like talk about sex. No. But my own case was different, kind of, because I got to know more about sex at a very young age, and it was not intentional. My parents they didn't know what I was going for. There's this body in Nigeria. You will know this association, the Society for Family and Reproductive Health. Yes, so they brought a seminar to my school when I was in GSS1. So they said we should pick two students from each classes. So my teacher picked me that time. I was very sure my parents didn't know what we were going for. If they knew, they would not allow me to go. When we got to that place, they taught us. It was a week seminar. We were sleeping. We come home in the night. We go back. We didn't go to school for that 1 week. So they taught us a lot. So I've known a lot about all this sex, all the parts of the body, everything. I've known a lot about it since then, and it really helped me growing up. It really helped me growing up. You know, all the little things that boys will deceive girls with these days. Like they told us everything. They told us everything back then, and it really helped. So I think African parents, they need to do well in terms of telling their kids what to expect. Teach them what they need to know before someone else to come and tell them something else outside. Yeah.
Yes.
And then another thing I want to say, okay, I typed something in the chat, but you didn't see before we prayed. I just want us to say a word of prayer for some people also in Nigeria. A tragedy also happened last few days in Nigeria. Yes. Some nursing students in their final years, they went for an excursion. So on their way coming back, they had an accident and they all were burnt to death. They all were burnt to death. Yes, 5 of them. So I just want us to say a word of prayer to them because, you know, training a child up to final year in nursing school and then and this thing happening at this time, the parents are devastated at the moment. Even there was one of them that we know the parents, of one of them. My family knows the parents of one of them. So it's a very, very sad incident. It happened in Osun State. Yeah,
Oh my
last few
God.
days. So I just want us to say a word of prayer for
Of
those
course.
families as well.
Oh
So that
my
will be all. I will be in the chat while
yeah.
you help us pray for those families.
Oh yes. You said, sorry, before you go, you said there's 5 of them?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And they were traveling, and the bus, is it like a bus or something, caught
And
fire?
what happened was that they said the bus driver was in like he hit one of the bike men, and then they were chasing them. The driver didn't want to stop because anything can happen if he stopped at that point. So they were
Mm,
chasing him, and then accident happened, and then the bus got fire. So that was what
mm.
happened. Yes.
God, Jesus. Okay, thank you for that. I didn't. Oh dear, let us just pray for that family and just use them as contact point for others. A lot is happening, a lot of things are happening. Father,
Yes.
I remember this family now. Father, these young people just finishing their education, and then maybe aiming for something and plan and have plans ahead of them. And this was how their lives were cut short, especially in a horrible way, where somebody is burnt, fire. You just be screaming, and from there the person will pass it. What an agony. Father, I just want to remember the family of these children concerned. Nothing anybody says will make sense to them, but it's only you, God, that sees and understands these things. I pray, Lord, that you be with the family. We ask, oh God, that you console them. It does not make sense. It doesn't. Nobody can understand it, but it is the world we are in. A lot of these things are happening. So I'm using these people again now as contact point for others who have experienced such or similar things in their lives or in their families over this period. Please comfort these families in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen, my people. The thing is, a lot is happening all over the world. We have to be, especially with children upbringing. Don't say that my child is too young to understand. My child is they don't understand. Later on, I'll tell them, start on time. It's no longer what it used to be when we are growing up. Or I always say that, not even when I raised my own children up in the 80s, from the 80s to now, and in the obviously in the 90s, they were still young in the 90s. It's no longer like that. Things have moved on a lot. Some of the things that they didn't know then, a lot of children know these things now, and it even baffles them. Even though they're still young themselves, they still makes them wonder what's going on. How come that these children are behaving like this? How come that they know in our own time? When you hear my children talking at their own time, you think that they were born my age. But just to show you how things have moved on over these years, and it's not getting any better. It's moving on so fast that children are being taught so many things at a very early age. So you have to be ahead of the game. Teach them yourself. Let them know. Like this, the story that who told the story now? Is it Uju or Funke? I've lost track of who told it. Yes, Uju told the story about this girl who was a virgin, and then Uju told the story. Yeah, So when you are like, maybe the best is maybe not to talk or share with your friend that you are still a virgin or not, because they think that this day and age nobody is. In fact, when I heard from few people not long ago about some of the girls who got married recently, who a few of them who are still virgin. I'm like, oh, so we still have people like that. I thought it was my own time that way. That time you say, oh yeah, even though some people were doing all that, but there was still few people who kept to themselves. But to hear that there are girls even now who are getting married now this year who still kept to themselves, I'm like, hallelujah, glory be to God. That means that it's still doable. So teach them early. Tell them that that is not the way of life. That thing that they want to taste and try, that man who really wants to do that kind of thing to them does not actually have their good interest at heart. They're not going to marry them eventually because they just want to, play game and play around with them and leave them. Eventually, when it's time for marriage, they will go and look for somebody else. So especially your girl child, Let them understand that their body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. All these things that people say, why can't you have to try? You even hear some older people, older than myself even, telling their children, I believe in trying first to know what you are going in for before you go. Make sure that everything is okay there before you go in. Okay, all to their own. But my own thing is that you may try. Some people will even say, I want to make sure that she's pregnant before I put the wedding. And I've seen instances where after they're pregnant, and then immediately after the wedding, or even just before the wedding, they had a miscarriage and they became TCC for the next 5 years. And then there's problem everywhere, because the main priority, one of the reasons why they actually got married to you was because of that pregnancy, because they want to make sure that you can be pregnant quick and that they want to start having children. It's no longer what the marriage is all about, which is for, it's not good for a man to be alone. We didn't hear about any child with Adam and Eve when God said that it's not good for a man to be alone. When the children starts coming, that become added blessing. And then it says in the Bible that blessed is he whose house are full of them. But the initial plan of God for a man and a woman is to get married and be a big companion. Then every other thing becomes a bonus. But for people to go ahead of God by saying, I want her to be pregnant, to make sure that she can bear children before I get married to her, you are not God. Things can happen. Like the example I've just given, there was the pregnancy was miscarried after the wedding, maybe because of the past. Wedding is not an easy thing now to manage. And after that, immediately after marriage, their wedding, 2 days or 3 days after, this lady miscarried. 5 years on, they're still waiting. And that marriage, you can tell that the man is not happy. She's always suspecting that he's gone somewhere else. She's gotten somebody else pregnant somewhere else. You see, that marriage already failed before it started. It failed by the man wanting that woman. If it's an accident, according to them, accident, yeah, okay, let's agree. Well, if it's an accident that you think, this person, we are planning to get married, and then the person became pregnant, that becomes a different story. But for you to use that as a something that has to happen before marriage, I think it's an error, because you're not God. Anything can happen. I'm not saying that lady having miscarriage was like that God did it. We don't know, but things happen. So what I'm trying to say is that we don't go ahead of God. Do things the right way. Be very prayerful. Pray before you get married. Pray for your children who are growing up, especially leading to their teenage years. When they are much younger, they are more open and more reliant on you and more dependent on you and hear you out. When they start getting to teenage years, they start finding themselves. No matter the upbringing you give to them, if you don't follow them up with prayers and continuous talking and emphasizing on what you have said before, if you think that, but I told them this last year, no, you have to keep re-emphasizing, you have to keep saying it for it to hit in, because that one you said last year or 6 months ago may have gone from the other ear because their friends have been telling them something else to replace that one you said. So you have to be saying it and saying it. You say, you remember what we discussed last month? You remember what we discussed 2 months ago? Start again. Don't be tired though. Parenting is easy. It's even harder now than my own time. And my own time wasn't that long ago. So it's even harder now. So you have to be ahead of the game. And trust me, if you get it right, you are not going to visit them inside. A lot of our people are inside. I don't want to be that kind of parent that will be going on Sunday or Saturday. You book a visit, an hour visit to go inside and see who. We don't want to be that. And there's no point saying God forbid. God will forbid if we do our best and then follow it up with prayer. The day is evil. Forces and darkness are everywhere, trying to grab our children, trying to grab marriages. They're on the door, waiting, knocking, waiting. They'll put one stupid argument between husband and wife. You hear them arguing and shouting at each other. And you wonder what's going on. The children are like this, all watching. What's going on with mommy and daddy? They're just shouting at each other for no reason. Something that is very simple. forces of darkness. They want to bring that thing into your family. They see that you are living well. They want to something. And then when you ask some of these couples, what actually is the problem? Honestly, what they will tell you, sometimes I'll start laughing. They will wonder why I'm laughing. Because what you just told me does not make sense. That is not the reason why you will be wanting your marriage to end, or you'll be saying this kind of words you are saying about your husband or about your wife. This is not just enough. Or I said to them, unless there's anything else that you're not saying, but it's the forces of darkness. Sometimes they don't even know what they're doing. There's manipulations here and there. So we have to be ahead of the game. We have to teach our children this kind of senseless demise of this 15-year-old girl who who is in her prime, getting ready for her GCSE, getting ready to go to university. That should be the priority, not boy, this, that. But unfortunately, that's where we find ourselves now. Let me read some comments. Okay. Children are really growing so fast these days. Yes, Nancy. It's crazy. And parents are not helping. Parents are not helping. As I say, they will not be happy with you. They will think you're being too strict and all the rest of it. But trust me, later on, they are the ones that will come and thank you for that. And when you say no, please say no. Like Funke said, it's not a case of saying no and they will keep bothering. They say, okay, please, so they can leave you alone. These children are so clever. When you say no, let your no be no. So they will know that next time you say no, mommy says no. Why are you bothering yourself? Remember, when she says no, that's it. And if you're the one that will say no, and after disturbing you for a little while, say, okay, please, go and take. You won't even monitor what they're taking. Just there, go and take. And they'll go there and take whatever it is and finish it. And you come the next day, where are these things? But we asked you yesterday, you said we should go and take. Because you are too busy. Anna Abayo Official, thank you so much. I saw that super chat. God bless you. Thank you. I really appreciate. Thank you, Anna. And I hallelujah these days. So when you're laughing, someone to try first. I don't know what they're trying. And then you see some men who are going outside when they have their wife at home. They'll tell you, are you going to be eating ogbono soup all the time? After all, do you eat the same soup all the time? As if marriage and having this intimate relationship with people is just something you joke with. We're talking about something that it's not something you have to be using ogbono soup and egusi soup to describe. No, the two have become one. He didn't say that the two have become three. So that means that once you leave your wife or your husband, you're not going to the third person. Unless you are one of those polygamous family and you decided, not what you did, you decide and you agree with your wife that you want to have another wife in the house, and you know that there's three of you now, if that's what you want to do. Otherwise, my Bible says that the two have become one. It did not say the three have become one. No. So we have to be very careful and work on things and work on our marriages and work on our children. Because once husband and wife start having an argument and not agreeing, it leaves a loophole for the children, because they are now like, better don't go to them. They're fighting, or they start shouting at each other, and they will take their own initiative and do things without informing you, because they know that you are always arguing and they don't want to add to your problem. Some of the children, especially those ones in the diaspora here, they just say, oh no, I don't want to disturb them. They have enough trouble of their own. They will go and do whatever they want to do. So we have to be very careful. A lot is going on. A lot of our children are in the prison in this country, and it's not funny. It's not funny. Like this boy that just did this thing now. When they found him, they're questioning him. He's going to go inside. There's no two ways about it. So, and he'll have that on his record, but somebody's life was lost in your hands. So you are now a murderer, and he has a big dent in your file in this country or anywhere else. But when children do these things, they think it's just nothing, but it's a huge thing. What are you having knife in your bag when you're leaving house? What are you having knife in your bag for? Is knife one of your utensils for studying? Is it pencil or pen that you use for writing in school? What is knife doing in your bag?
And why do you have to use it for something as simple as maybe the girl said no to your whatever you are asking her to do? She said no. Is that enough for you to use knife on a human being? And then the person's life is just gone like that. And parents are confused that their child that just left home this morning, by 8:30 in the morning, they're being called that she's fighting for their lives. Ambulance people try to fight to save her on scene. So many crews came to her rescue. They tried their best on site there to try to resuscitate her or to help her. But obviously, when stabbing is done, if there's any blood vessel there that was nicked, that's it. No matter what you do, the person will bleed to death. And that's it. Just like that. And I'm sure that 17-year-old boy will be beside himself because maybe he didn't think. Maybe, I don't know what, sometimes I don't even know, like you just said, sometimes they're under the influence of something. That's another thing. Sometimes they drink and smoke some of these things that makes them not even think that they're on this planet or not even to know what they're doing. Some children are getting involved in these things. I don't know. Anita, how mommy said, a lot of people say that. That's why I'm laughing. Okay. I was laughing too. Yeah, but it's true. This generation is hard. Yes, only this generation is very hard. I'm telling you people now, this generation is very, very hard. We have to be ahead of the game. I still say we, even though my own are adults and having their own families now, I still say we because I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, so I still say we. We have to be ahead of the game. Please, let us stop hearing this kind of horrible news. It does not give any joy. Finally, I can come in. Okay, my spicy. I was wondering where you were. I was wondering, but I know you must be busy trying to sort your apple out first so that when you eat and balance and digest, then you can come with your somersault. I don't know where Musisi is today. Yeah, he left the class empty, but everybody behaved. AA was left to be in charge, and she has really kept the class in order with her. But Spice is here now to support. Musisi is not here today. Thank you so much, everyone. Even when we are just talking loud, my kids think we are fighting. You see, Funke, that's the thing. And they don't like it. You know, I remember those children would say, "Why are you shouting?" I'm like, "Hey, madam, what is this one about shouting? Everything is shouting to them." They don't like it. That's the thing. So they are so different. Their own way of this is so different. And the children they're having now, their own will be so different. I tell my children, I say, people should have to be well ahead of the game with these your children now, because look at what is happening now. You can imagine what will be happening when they become adults themselves or teenagers themselves. Only God knows. Hey, that was how someone was just using. Hold on. Okay, Uju said bye-bye. Sorry, I didn't see that on time. Uju, bye-bye. Thank you so much for your support and for coming up to air your own opinion. I appreciate you so much. I was reading something before. That was how someone was using goats and dogs to validate polygamy. Just talking nonsense. Sometimes some of the way they talk, you just walk up past because sometimes I don't even know where their mindset is, how they talk, how some people talk. Just watching. Okay, watching two us are playing. Just watching two. So when us, I thought coach said that when the ads now play in middle of a live stream, and coach said that when it starts playing, that if you have a phone like I do, that you'll be able to see when the ads are playing, so you can stop talking. Because if I'm talking when the ads are playing, nobody will hear me. But I haven't been getting the prompting here. I don't know. I'll try and see if there's anything I need to set up properly, but the thing that is working is good. Finally, I came in. Okay, a lot of them are using vapes. Yes, this vape that they use. When I asked them, in my job, I have to take social history. I said, "Do you smoke?" And they said, "No, I vape." What is this vape? I thought my understanding, is correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding of this vape is that people who were smoking, heavy smokers, that they want to give up, they now vape in place of proper smoking, and that vaping does not have nicotine or whatever in it. I don't understand it. That's what I thought. They said I vape, and then I asked them, "You vape? Do you used to smoke normal cigarette?" Some of them will say, "No, I've never smoked. I just vape." Because I don't know. Okay. Spice keep appearing and disappearing. Okay, bye, Uju. I was enjoying my swallow. I know she's going to eat her apple. She can't go without. She can't do without her apple. I was here early. Yes, so you were here early. I know. I saw you when I came in. I was saying it was you. I saw you and your name and AA when I came in, and I was saying hello to you. I didn't hear from you, so I thought maybe you've gone out. Okay. You like a baby elephant after the apple. I went home to prepare swallow. I know. I feel full like a baby well. I invited my sister here. Ify, say hi. Hey, your sister. Ify, Kedia, where is she? I haven't seen anybody who is Ify, my namesake. Vape is full of all sorts. Hey, I would say that their vape. I'm worried about that their vape. Is open because I don't understand though. People will say I vape. You must have something. There must be things in that vape that only God knows. I know it. Where is Ifeoma? Say hi. Okay, I can see her now. Ifeoma Louis. Hi, Ify. We are welcome. Okay, her own Ify is Ifeoma. My own Ify is Ifeyunwa. Nothing like a child. I've told people how I was named that name, how I was given Ifeyunwa. Ifeyunwa, I think Spice, her other Igbo name is Ifeyunwa as well. Am I right? Or you just love the name? I think you said that you love that name, that you reserved it for your daughter or something. Or I know that you sometimes write Ifeyunwa. That's mine. That's the full name of my full name is Ifeyunwa. Nothing like a child. And that was after my parents were waiting for another boy. After one boy, they had another girl. The third one coming, another girl. And they say, okay, Ifeyunwa. Nothing like a child. Nothing like a child. My other name, Oni Ezioku. Ifeyunwa, really? It's a very nice name. That's my name. So that's the reason I was given the name. They are just waiting for another boy after 3 girls. Another girl landed like Land Rover. They have no choice to say that there's nothing like a child. Ifeyunwa. That one is Ifeoma. Ifeoma is another good one. Ifeoma means good thing. So Ifeoma, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming. Okay. That's my third name. So only you were 3. People are looking for 2 to answer you. Only you have 3. You're Onyinye. You're Ifeyunwa. You're Kerewan calls. What would be English name, Abi? Because in those days they call it baptismal name. What is your baptismal? Or which one is your English name? But I only have 2. But only you have 3. Okay. If this is family here, my mommy and sisters. Yes, so we are family. If when you come here, sometimes we are serious, sometimes spice. This spice you see here, sometimes you bring ogbagara, and we just do ogbagara for a little, and then we become serious again. So yes, we are one big family here. Some of us are from Nigeria, some of us are from Ghana, some of us are from wherever we want to come from. We don't care. All we know is that we are family here. So you're very welcome. You're very welcome to the house. What you don't need to say, I have 3 Igbo names. I don't have you. Oh, okay, you don't have English name. Yes, the same here with our sons. They all their 2 names are Igbo names. And at a point, when they were struggling to say their names, sometimes in those days when they were much younger, they were 5, 6, and they're like, why? And they come back and they'll be crying sometimes. Why don't we have English name? Why we can't just answer something like Paul, or like my friend David, or like my friend Chris? Why don't we? Why do you have to give us Onyekachi? Oh, this one. I said, you know, because my second son's name, he was the one that was more complaining about his name then those days. Now he loves it. His name is Onye for short as well. So Onyekachi was his, and they used to call his full name, and they would be murdering the name. And they can't even pronounce it properly. And you gave us this name. Can't you just Chris? Why can't we ask? I said, if you like to answer Chris, Chris. But I can't just answer Chris because that's not my name. Leave me alone. That's the one we have given you. That was then, but as they grew older, if you call that name and you don't pronounce it well, he will say, that's not how to say my name. He will try and pronounce it to them. I'll come and see who is pronouncing the way, the intonation, the voice he will use to tell them will still be the same voice as Oyibo we used to say it. But to him, the one he said is better, the one they said is not. He's now fighting to be called that name properly. But when he was 5'6", it was a big issue. My friends called Chris, that one Paul, very easy. And you say my name is Onyekachi. What, how do I even, Onye, he said Onyekachi. My name is Onyekachi. How can I be answering that kind of name? And I said, do you know the meaning? I said, do you know the meaning of this name? If you know the meaning of this, your name, you know that this Chris and this Scott and this whatever else your friends are answering, ask them their meaning, or they don't go on. I start him, I say, your name, Onyekachi, means who is greater than God. And he said, whatever, but it's just too difficult. That was 5-6-year-old talking, whatever, but that's too long. That's too difficult to call. Oh my God. But anyway, that was all then. But now he loves his name and he wants you to call him properly. Oh, Nyambura Wangi, thank you for coming. Thank you. We have talked about issue on the ground, which was stabbing of a 15-year-old girl here in Croydon, near London, here in the UK, and the circumstances surrounding it. And we have talked around parenting and what parents need to do to be a little bit ahead of the game for their children, especially for teenage children, because they are in between. They don't see themselves as children. They don't see themselves as adults. They see themselves, in fact, if anything, they see themselves as adults. They think that they're no more that child you tell to sit down here and they sit. They want to challenge. They want to do their own thing. They want to follow the crowd. They want to dress the way they like to dress. Talking about appropriate dressing, one of the ladies I was chatting with some time ago said that when anybody sees my daughter, the way she dresses, they'll think I was the one buying these things. I'm not. I said, but how old is your daughter? She's 14, I think, at the time. I said, but he said, it's the pocket money. We normally give them pocket money to buy school lunch and whatever. Sometimes he will save it up and I'll buy things for her and I'll see those things I bought for her still hanging in her wardrobe. She'll go and use her own money to buy the type of bra and the type of curve thing that will bring out her boobs. And each time she'll be quarreling with this girl. She's only at the time 14. And this is the mother now saying that she goes to buy these things herself. And she's very distant about what she does, because if she does too much, that girl may even decide to run away from the home and say, you know what, you are disturbing me and I'm not going to live here anymore, and so on. So it's catch-22. It's just prayers, starting on time, and then prayers. And that's why I never ever condemn or point finger at any mother whose child goes the other way. I never point high. It's only the mother or the parents that can point finger to themselves if they have not done what they should do. But as for any other person to go and start pointing fingers, you don't know what happened in that family. But for a 14-year-old, for the mother of a 14-year-old to be telling me that she'll buy the normal size things and good things, can run away. Yes, they do. You have not seen this some of these children. Yes, 14, they do. Honestly, some people have got really struggling with their children, because they are following the crowd more than they are listening to what parents are saying. No, never point. No, exactly. Never point fingers, because honestly, you don't know what that parent or those parents have done. Some children are naturally like that. No matter what you do, they still want to rebel. Some of them just rebel. We have 14 years run away in. Yes, Funke, it happens. You know, it happens. They run away, they just decide to go. And then when they run away now, because of the way we are as parents, is the mother that will still be crying. Hey, my daughter, okay, please come back. I won't talk again. I won't do this again. Emotional blackmail. It just do what we can and we pray, you know. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's well, yes, honestly. It's not easy at all. My spicy, welcome. Let me read chat before you talk, my dear. He may be somewhere twerking. I mean, Musisi. Yes, I'll ask him where he is. Yeah, Musisi, where are you? We left the class. Oh God, I don't know. Only no Nancy and a pet name, which is I don't know. I only know Nancy and a pet name. I must have missed this. Okay. 14. Yeah. This is well only. In Nigeria too. Wow. I dare not. At that age, I was not even allowed out. That's the thing. I told you. Forget about those. Things have moved over the last 10 years or so. Things have moved on so quick with children upbringing that it even frightens me. My spicy, you're welcome. Let's hear you. You frightens me.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon from here. Good afternoon, mommy. Happy new month. Happy Sunday. Abracadabra. I see you, my queen. Always supportive. I see you, queen. Welcome. Ifoma Louise. Ifoma is my namesake, the lady I was talking about. We have a lot in common. In fact, I and Ifoma share so much in common that, mommy, I'm going to tell you privately and it will shock you how close and connected we are. Honestly, like sometimes I used to wonder, are you sure my mother doesn't have one explanation to make somewhere? That's how close and connected we are. Yeah, we have a lot in common. Welcome, everyone. See, I have been eating swallow. I went home to prepare swallow, and I've eaten swallow. And I wanted to come in. My YouTube refused to open. I have been struggling for the past 30 minutes to 1 hour to open my YouTube. It's not open, it's just blank. I was shouting, they have hacked my YouTube. Oh, I cannot open YouTube. But finally, thank God it's open. Now that was why I say, at last I can now come in. So talking about teenagers, you see, teenagers in Nigeria, they are totally different from teenagers abroad. When you if you've been in Nigeria for years and then you travel out and you see teenagers, you just conclude that these are adults, they are not teenagers. When I came here, the kind of things I see teenagers do, the way they talk, what they put on, like I'm wondering if I'm at this age, even I can't remember at what age I even started buying clothes for myself. Who born me when to go to market and buy clothes for myself? Even as a grown teenager, I can't try it. My mother bought everything down to shoes. She would take a measurement. If there's need, she would take us to the market. But we have teenagers, 13, 14, going to the market stores to get whatever they want to get for themselves. And there's little or nothing the parents can do. Why? Because this is the environment and they have rights, so much rights. They've grown, they see them as matured kids who have rights to do whatever they want to do. And there's nothing as a mother you can do about it unless you started early enough to instill the fear of God and discipline them so much to the point that they obey what you say. Your word is law in the house. It's not bullying. Your word at home is law. Nobody dares disobeys the word. That is the kind of upbringing some of us got. We dare not question what our parents say.
Absolutely.
Why? Because right from when we're small, we learned that they are the authorities, that God, we don't have a choice other than to do their biddings, other than to do what they say. We don't have a choice. It has nothing to do with bullying or beating or intimidation. No, these are parents, and parents are meant to lead. Why will the children follow?
Yes.
Korea. That's an Igbo adage. Okra can never, an okra tree can never be longer than the person who planted it. You will bend it. That's the upbringing with God. So, but when you see teenagers today, they do whatever they want to do and they get away with it, you begin to question, how were they brought up? What kind of life did the parents live? What example did they set? Do you allow them take certain decisions, serious decisions, when they were still too young to take such decisions?
Yes. And that's the
Well,
thing.
if you don't start early,
it'll be too late. Yes. If they now start to correct, it will be too late. Yeah.
Yeah, you can only bend a stick when it is fresh. Once it's dry, if you try bending it, it will break.
Yes.
Let us as parents always look at this. If you want to bend a stick, you can only do that when it's fresh without it breaking, and it will come back straight.
Yeah.
But if you try to bend a dry stick, it will break. And that is how it is with parenting. Catch them young. You want your children to listen to you. Start early. You want them to respect and obey you. Start early. You want them to have that fear. There is this fear of, fear. They have two types of fear. Fear, the fear of God and the fear of your parents. And then the fear of, there's another kind of fear. That is not the kind of fear I'm talking about. I don't know what to call this type of fear where you see your parents, you start jittering. No, that's not the kind of fear I'm talking about. The kind of fear I'm talking about is the fear that before you do certain things, you have to think, what would my mother say? What will she do to me when she comes back if she realizes I've done something like this? That's the kind of fear. You think before you act.
Yeah.
That's the kind of fear we were brought up with. What we have here today, parents, you see parents allowing children, see, let us tell ourselves the truth. We see these things, allowing children to get away with whatever they want to do. And then tomorrow you start complaining. If you let them get away with certain things at that tender age, what do you expect when they are teenagers? Nothing. Okay, a couple of days ago, my stepdaughter came to the house and she couldn't even stay 3 days and she left again. Why? Because these teenagers here, they have so much right. They want to, they can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she's a grown lady. I can't help at the stage. She's grown. I can't help her. It's too late. Nobody can change anything. It's only the grace of God at the stage. And I don't think I want to I want to go through the trouble now. It's too late. Mama can't. So
exactly.
What I'm saying is, you see children, you see teenagers doing things, putting on. You say, hey, they are teenagers. This is what they want to do. This is how they have been. Did you start early to instill the fear of God in them? Did you start early to discipline them? Did you start early to set the boundaries? Did you start early to set the rules and regulations? Did you start early? Or you let them get away with certain things and at a stage you now want to correct? No, you can't change things habits when they are formed.
No,
children test you. They test parents. They want to do certain things and then they look at you. They want to observe your body language. They want to see if you're going to say anything. They want to see if they will get away with it. And when they do, expect them to repeat such tomorrow until it becomes a habit.
Yes. Yeah.
We live in a world where teenagers now dictate for parents.
Yeah.
We live in a world where children decide things in their home. Children, in fact, they are the ones that calls the shots at home.
Yeah.
And why the parents fold their hands in fear. It's only God we are looking up to. No, God gave you these children to take care of. It is your responsibility as a mother, as a father.
Yes.
I know there are okay. I know there are children that no matter what you do, no matter how much you try, they will still take their course in life. But just do your part. do your part. And God will help you when it becomes difficult. God will help you when they stray. He will help you bring them back. But if you don't do your part, you don't expect miracle or magic to happen. There are times that there are situations where you go on your knees as a parent and you pray for that child, and God listens to you. God hears and help you bring those children back. Why? Because God knows you have done your best as a parent. But if you have not done your best, you don't expect to go down on your knees and want God to perform magic or miracle. It doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
May God help us.
Yeah, thank you so much, my spicy. You're very, very spot on, because sometimes you hear parents talking about, oh, God help me, oh, this child, oh, God help me. Do your own bit first before God will help. God has given those children to you to look after, and you can't just asking God to come from heaven to do it, physical things for you. You have to do your bit and then leave the rest to God. Let me read some of the comments, because sometimes we are so quick to push things to God. God is in control, or God is this, or God is, yes, he's in control, but we have to, he gives authority as well as parents and to do things. And I think I saw a comment from Ngozi's Creativity talking about parents. I can't remember whether I missed that comment. If parents are not in agreement or saying the same thing or something like that, I think I saw a comment like that from Ngozi Creativity. I think I've missed that. That's one we are solving now, where the girl cannot do without sleeping with a man in a day. let me laugh. This is just 16-year-old. 16-year-old. Spicy, did you hear that? She cannot do without sleeping with a man in a day. Then sometimes
imagine.
Something may have happened to her. She may have slept with the wrong person and they placed that curse on her. And then I've heard stories that I don't believe in this kind of nonsense stories, until somebody that was really I trusted told me something about something that is really real. And I'm like, so this is possible? So this girl was doing this and then went to sleep with somebody, and that person did something to her, and that means that she cannot afford not to sleep with a man every time. Anytime she doesn't do it, it's like she's going to go mad. Yes, things are happening. That's why it's important, first of all, to even keep yourself, to avoid these things, because you don't know who you are going to get entangled with. Some of the people you see going out there are not normal. You don't know what is controlling them. You can't unite. No, sexual intimacy is very, very the most, I don't know how to describe it, because you are going into somebody, body to body like that. You don't know who the person is. Okay. Can you imagine 16-year-old? What is her future now? Assuming, because if she's doing that, it may not be normal, may not be ordinary. So where do we draw the line? And Evelyn said exactly what some parents are going through. They listen to their friends more than their parents. That's another thing. So they listen to their friends. Sometimes even parents are not doing their best. They're not even giving good advice to their children. It's not even a case of giving good advice to them. It's how you live your life as a parent. I see some parents sometimes, and I weep. I said, these are parents that would teach a child or children something. You like this? So some parents are not even doing what they should do as parents. Never mind showing their children example, because sometimes children don't listen to what you say, they listen to what you do. Never, you can say anything you want to say to them, they'll be looking at you, they might be doing their hair like this, but they're watching you. What are you actually doing? You're asking me not to dress like this. How are you dressing? Very important. Nyambura said, children learn through examples. Okay, as if I saw this before I was saying what I said. They learn through examples. And if as parents, we don't set a good role model, see, I didn't even see this comment before I said what I just said, or be there for them, they will learn from other children out there. That's the thing. If you don't show them good example, they will learn from other people. And let your children be those kind of children, that will go to school. Others will be misbehaving, or they will get to teenage years. Their peers will be misbehaving, looking for boys, looking for girls, doing this, going to the bathroom to have a one-night stand, to do all that. They give it all kinds of stupid names. One-night stand, quickie, that one, doing all that nonsense.
mommy. Oh my God.
Watch names. Come on, get with me. You'll be saying this and doing this and doing all that. One night stand. What is all this nonsense? And that's when they get all kinds of infection. They get you people are laughing, but it's true now. Some of the words I hear, you just wonder what is all this? Just giving them names to massage something. Call it what it is. Call it what it is, my people. You people are laughing, but it's true now. They just give it one stupid pet name. So it doesn't look like you're doing something that is horrible. Sensual intimacy is one of the worst sins anybody can do because it's body to body. You're going into somebody in that fashion. It is spiritual. You don't do that. Stick with your wait until the right time. When you get married and get into your husband's home, that thing that you're looking for, you in fact at the time you'll be saying to each other, let's leave it this week or let's leave it now. I'm telling you. So what are you pursuing? What are you wanting to do at this young age that you cannot wait for a little more, few more years? Oh, B Joy Special. I just saw her comment. Serious. I didn't even know when you came in, my dear. B Joy Special. Thank you for coming. Honestly, what you are looking for, what you are chasing, what you want to taste, and what you want to try, and this, there will be a time you'll be saying, "Is it?" In fact, let's rest this week. So what is it? There's time for everything, my people. There's time for everything. Let your child be that kind of child or children that will influence their peers in the other way. When they're doing something, they will say, or this whatever your child's name is, Chioma, don't tell Chioma because she will not join us. You know how she is now. Don't tell her, she won't join. Let Chioma, your daughter, be the one that will be telling others, this is the way to behave. Keep yourself so that eventually you don't contract this, you don't contract it. Let her be the one that will be influencing. Why must it be others influencing your own child negatively? Why can't it be the other way around? I remember the story of a little girl that was in primary school where they were using some horrible words because here in the UK, I don't know about where you people are, but here in the UK, the F word is like bread and butter. The parents use it on their children use it on their parents. Yes. A child of 6 can tell the mother to F off and they just laugh. It's nothing because that's their language. So this child came to school and some of these languages were being used and the child is from our own background. And when they are saying this, hey, why are you using that language? My mommy told me that you can never say things like that. And the child was like looking at her, but that's what my mom, that's why we talk in our home. She uses that for me and I use that for her. So is it bad? So the other child, these are children, 6-year-olds. So the other child impacted on the other one. So why must it be your own child that the other ones will be influencing? Why can't your own child influence the other one by the way you have started early to train them? So this other child was shocked that this girl used this word. And the girl was saying, really? You don't say that in your own, you know how innocent children, 6-year-olds, when you listen to 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old, when you listen to them, you love them because they're so unassuming. They are so...
I do see some videos here. I do watch some videos where I just listen to these little children, less than 10 years. The way they use these F words on their parents, I'm like, hey, the African mother in me wants to just get into that video. Reset your brain.
To them, it's normal. To them, they don't even blink an eye. They just
because the parents have been using it.
And our children will go and be copying that. Why can't you be the one that they will copy by you frowning at that and say to them, I wasn't brought up like this. I can never say this. Why are you saying this? Let be that 6-year-old that talked to the friend, and the friend was like, really? This is how me and my mom, they just does and I do that. And the girl was like, no, my mom told me that you would never use F word. That is very bad. This girl went home. This girl, 6-year-old, went home and told the mommy that in school today, I was saying this to my friend, and my friend was so shocked and said that in their house, They don't talk like this. That is so rude to be saying this. Do you know that this other girl influenced the other one positively? Why can't we be like that? Why will it always be, I did my best now, they went there and other people influenced them? I'm not saying that it's not happening, but can we try for it to be the other way around? Like this 6-year-old, I mean, maybe it was possible because the girl was so young. 6 years, what do they know? They just know what, if you say that this is right, they'll do it. If you say that this is wrong, they'll stop doing it. If you say that this is right again, they'll go back to it. At that age, that's how their mind works. And that's why you need to catch them early. When you catch them early, it's difficult. Honestly, I know it still happens, but it's difficult for them to go the other way. But it's only when you leave it to when they are now teenagers or 12, heading to 13, then you think you can now start. It's too late. Start very early. Let them get used to the fact that this kind of word is irritating. It's a no in my family. I can't speak like this. Let them let it get into them, and to some extent, it does help. Let them influence other children the other way. Let it not always be them influencing our own children. Let this kind of useless demise of children, teenagers, young people stop. It's happening all over. This is just the one I heard this week, and that's why I'm bringing it up here to use as contact point for others that are happening all over the world and everywhere. Let me read some comments. If I make my hair, my father will suspect my hair. Leave this upbringing that time. Sometimes I don't know. Do I like that one or do I like this one now? I think I'm in the middle. What was happening that time? What was happening that time? Sometimes I don't agree with it. I don't like that. And what is happening now? I think you're in the middle.
Mommy, take a stand. Mommy, no, take a stand. Take a stand. You either choose in the past or you choose today. So you can't be in the middle.
Honestly, in
goodness.
the past, some of them were just too much now. Hey, what? Before I finished writing WAEC, now that night I caught them. You see, she made her, so it was she made her hair, and then they have to cut her hair. What was the reason? They won't even give you reason. That's another thing. Now that I made my hair before my WAEC, what is the scene? What is the, explain it to me. Try and explain it.
You want to go and do shakara when you should be thinking about how to pass your WAEC. You want to go and do shakara. You said you should not cut your hair. Eh?
Oh my
You
God.
should be thinking of how to get A's. All A's. You are going to make shakara hair.
Oh my God. Yes. So comes down to parents to be precise, start early. Yes, Nyambura, I can't overemphasize the need to start early. Honestly, when you instill certain things in them, you start early. Hi, there are things they want to do because it's inside them. I think from the age of 1, you think that 1 year old is too early to start talking. No, 1 year olds, they're clever. People think that it's when we are born or when we even had our own children. Now, 1 year old, they're watching you, they're looking at you, they're watching what you're doing. So start early. Once you catch them from the age of birth to 5 years and instill certain things in them, honestly, it's so difficult. At that age, they are yes members. They can question you. You say, but why? Explain them why. Don't say to them because I say so. Explain, because they always say, you say them to do the best. Why? Their why is their talk every time. They always ask why. And don't be that parent that will say, because I say so. That is not a good explanation of why you are saying don't do something, because they always ask you why. If a child can't even talk properly, then that's why they know how to say it. But why? They want to ask you, why are you saying that I shouldn't do this? Explain to them. It will help. I saw somebody in the building. Did I see right? Did I see somebody in my live stream today?
Yeah, she's here. She's here. She's here at the background.
I haven't seen her like this. So hey, yeah, Uche Wenzi in the building. Thank you so much for coming. More is also in the building.
Momo is in the building. Uche. Mommy Uche, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Uche has a son and expecting her second one soon. And her son carries. When I see how she behaves like Caris and the way she prays and lays hands on her and speaks unto him, you can't tell me that tomorrow Caris will go out there tomorrow and start using F word. She will fire prayer again, Holy Ghost. She will fire prayer again to take that one out, assuming it happens so, but it will not, because you start early. Let us start early to pray for our children. Let us not be too busy. I know that with YouTube, with social media, with everything, we are so busy to rush out. They are going to the school. You are in a hurry. You don't want them to be late for school. Even when you're taking them, you don't have to. If you don't have the time to pray before you leave the house, as you're taking them, be praying, be covering. So that when they get to school today, that they will not get involved in the wrong crowd. Please, let us be more intentional. Let us be more, do what we can at an early age. Don't wait until they get to age 13. But at that time, they think they're adults. They think that you don't tell them what to do anymore, especially in the diaspora. They give them so much leeway here that there are things you do. The next day, you see social workers on your door. You see social workers on your door, and you have to explain one or two things. They're not laughing here. And that's why the children goes the other way around, because they know that they will call on them. They even tell them, they even give them numbers to call them if they're not happy about what is going on at home. Yes. So you have to be ahead of the game by making sure that you start early. Prayer is the way. Yes, prayer and also action. Some mothers are praying too much and doing very little. Yes, prayer is the way, my dear. But some mothers and some parents, sometimes we'll talk about mother. How about the fathers? Parents, let's not talk about parents. I know what I'm talking about, mothers, because we are the nurturers. We are made to nurture our children, and we are always and the prayer of mothers, the way God responds to prayer of mothers is so different. That's why I kept saying mothers, but parents as a whole, we need to do more. Prayer is the key. I totally agree. However, we have to also do our part. Some mothers are praying too much and doing too little, and it doesn't work. God is not abracadabra. God does not do abracadabra. So we can look at the class prefect coming 2 hours late. What are we going to find?
Is that Musisi?
Is
that Musisi?
Yes, now.
Musisi, can you just go and kneel down there? Musisi, go kneel down, raise your hands up. You are late.
Musisi, did you hear that? The assistant prefect is saying that the
and don't even click on the link, oh. Don't even click on the link. We don't want you up here. Don't even click on the link, Musisi.
2 hours. Where is Musisi? Spicy. We are twerking. So you had my people who don't know these three, please. I'm sorry to. The class is being interrupted now because Musisi, who is supposed to be the class prefect, had just come in 2 hours late, and the class is being disrupted. Because once there's Musisi
after
in the class,
twerking behind the scene for 2 hours. Musisi, can you please go up there and kneel down and raise your hands up?
He had all the conversation. He said he was just repeating what you people said before. Musisi was something else. He may be somewhere twerking. Oh my God. I used to tell mine when they were younger, call the number so they can come and take them before I go to prison.
And it works for you.
Honestly. Oh, Natty Slim is in the building. Natty Slim came in late with Musisi. We are rounding up. We have spent 2 hours, and we are supposed to spend an hour and a half today because we didn't start early. We started at 5 p.m. It's at 4 p.m. and people are coming now. We are going to be rounding up very soon. But please, you come and think. Honestly, we are laughing, but please let us not
be that kind of parents where social services will be knocking on our door, asking us one question or two because of our children. Please let us. It's not.
Mommy,
It's
do you
getting
know that
worse.
when I went to see my one of my girlfriends in US some years back, what she does, she's a Yoruba lady. She will take this girl to the bathroom, lock the door. After giving her some spanking, she will lock her inside the bathroom there and say, if you make him, they will come and carry you, and you will not be able to eat good food again. You will not see your mommy, you will not see your daddy. She will so threaten the girl, and then when she's tired of crying, she will sleep off there, then she will open the door. I told her, she said that's the only way, that if not, this girl will just so
Hey,
spoil and she'll be out of control. So that's why she does that, that she'll keep threatening the girl that if she cries and they come to question her, that social services will come and take her, and she will not be able to eat good food. She will not see her mommy again. She will not see her daddy again. And the girl will
oh
respect herself and cry silently until she's done
oh
crying.
my again, if they even notice that or hear that was happening, that mother would be in trouble. But then who would tell them? But yeah, things like that, they'll think that that's wrong. You shouldn't be threatening them like that. You shouldn't do that. The children here have upper hand than the parents. That's the unfortunate thing. They take in fact, if you are pregnant here and they are worrying about you, they're not worrying about you because of that child in your womb. It's more important to them than you. That's the reality. Children here are so important to them that anything to do with a child, God help you if your child goes to school with a little, maybe his or her nails were sharp and they were doing something on their face and they scratched their face and they went to school like that. Maybe you didn't even notice that they had a scratch on their face. They will ask them, what happened to your face? Did anybody scratch you at home? They start asking them leading questions, So they help these children to go the other way. So that's why we have to be very careful. Examine your children before they go to school. If there's any scratch or anything, make sure that you know how and why, so they can defend it when it comes to. You can even ask your child, what happened to your face? Did you scratch yourself in the night? So when they go there and they're asking, they say, yes, my mom even noticed it this morning. I may have scratched myself while I was sleeping last night. Just be ahead of the game. Very small thing here. They just ask them leading question to get you, the parent, in trouble. That's why a lot of things are falling apart. May God help us. May we continue to do what we can, as parents. But are things getting worse? Yes, it's definitely getting worse. Children are growing too quick. Children are doing the things they should not do too quick, and it's not helping. It's causing lots of problems. It's not helping anybody. Parents sometimes are not helping because of the way they are behaving themselves. Some parents are not well brought up. They haven't even looked after themselves, but they are happy to have children. And sometimes it's the children that will be bringing themselves up, not the parents, because the parent had no clue. Some parents are high on something that they can't even take care of children, but they're still happy to have children. So there's a lot of issues. So let us do our bits, our best as parents. Let us be prayerful. Prayer is all well and good, as I always say, because our people know how to pray too much. But praying too much and doing little does not work. God has given us these children to be their caretakers and look after them. Yes, prayer is fine. High on something. Yes, Nancy. Some parents are high. I don't want to mention the name, but some of them are high on something, and you are telling them to be parents. They're in a different land. These are people you are telling to bring up children. These are parents. Some of them will tell you, my mom, she didn't even know when I got ready and went to school because she was still sound in whatever she did with her life over the weekend. She was still sound. I got myself ready as much as I can. I just came to school. Some of them come without food because their mom is still away with the fairies. As the English people will say, that the person is away with the fairies. Some of these children are bringing themselves up. So mothers, some parents are failures already. All they know is to bring these children up, but when it comes to raising them up, some children actually raise themselves up, and some of them actually did well doing that because they have seen that their mom or dad are waste of space So they now picked up this thing to just do things for themselves. I've seen that happen as well, and they actually turn out okay than those people that were who their parents are there all the time. So it can happen either way. Yeah. Worried, yes, high. They're high on something. Without mentioning anything, you know what I mean. Please.
You know, it can also go wrong when a child is forced to grow up so quick, so fast.
Yes.
You know, the child
Yes.
misses out being a child. You know, the
Yes.
time the child is
It's
supposed to
all
be a
good.
child, the child is being forced to grow up and become an adult because
Yeah.
he or
It's
she
not
has
good.
an irresponsible parent, you know,
Yeah.
around. So I want to quickly say before I leave that whatever we do as parents, let's try
Yeah.
and balance things up. Work
Mm-hmm.
and taking care, watching out for children. Some
Yeah.
people use their work as an excuse. Why did you decide to have children if you know
Thank
you want
you.
to focus fully on just work?
Honestly.
You go out 6 o'clock or even 5 o'clock before the children are awake, and then you come back late while the children are sleeping, and this thing goes on. The only time you have with them is Sunday when you go to church, and then come back, you're tired, you sleep, and before you say jack, it's Monday, and the routine continues. As the father is working, the mother is working. The children need money, yes, but they also need your presence. There are
Yes.
children who wish that their parents gave them attention, not material things, gave them time, and not trying to get them the best in life. They just need
Yes.
their mother to be there. They need their father to be there, to be present.
Yeah.
It's not every birthday you want to throw the best birthday party in your street, in your neighborhood. Whereas these children hardly see you. They've never had 1 hour quality time with you as a parent.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on in their mind. They're growing up and struggling to discover a lot of things on them, on their own.
Yeah.
They're trying to just go through life on their own. All you do is to parent, pay school fees, buy their clothes, celebrate. What about
So
being there in their life, being present to ask, how are you doing? What's going on with you? Do you have friends? Who are your friends? Do you hang out? Do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
You know, especially the young ladies as they're growing up, even ask them some of these sensitive questions. Have that heart-to-heart talk with your teenage daughters. There's a neighbor of hers, of ours here. Her first child, she had it at 14. 14, and she's still living with her parents. She's just had the
14.
second one now.
Growing up
This girl
herself.
is a child. She's a
Yes.
child. She
A
has
child
had the
having a
second
child.
one now. A child having 2 children to raise. Anyway, thank God her parents are there. But she's still going to have the third one and the fourth one maybe. We have to
14.
do our best and stop giving excuses. There are some, back in the days, some mothers, put a halt to their career, not because they want to, but because they want to be there for the children, because they can't watch the father work all day and then they too are equally working all day. I'm not saying every woman should give up career and all that, but you have to think, what is your priority? The children or your work or your career? How do you balance it? If you're going to be working all week, you wake up as early as 4 a.m. in Nigeria or 5 a.m. and then you are off to work. The same thing as your husband. Only the house girl or the housekeeper is just there taking care of the children. The only time you have is weekend. Even that weekend, you don't have it. You have it in the church, and from church to one meeting to the other, from one village meeting to the other, from one church meeting to the other, and then you come back, you're tired, and you go to sleep. Create time. Let there be a balance. So that when these children will be needing your attention, you should be there to answer some questions. They shouldn't be asking fellow teenagers certain questions. If you don't provide answers, they will get it from another person. And God help you if they go to the wrong person for answers.
Yeah.
So let's balance these things up.
Yeah.
We want to be parents, we must balance things up. We must sit up and take up our responsibility.
Yes.
We cannot push it aside and expect miracles to happen.
happen.
God
No,
will
it
help
doesn't.
us only when we choose to help ourselves. I have a lot of young teenagers
Absolutely.
wasting away, going
Yes.
into taking substances.
Yes. Yes. So
Why?
sad.
Because the parents
So
are
sad.
never there. They are looking for
Never there.
something to fill in the vacuum. They are
Yeah. Instead
empty.
of
They are
just
looking for love.
doing
They are
their
looking
own
for
thing, bringing
attention.
themselves up. Oh God. Honestly,
Thank
thank
you,
you so much for
everyone.
this. Yeah,
I will
thank you.
drop.
I appreciate your input. Very important. Thank you so much. Look at what AA
Thank
said.
you.
I watched a TV program. Police arrested a boy driving without license, took him home. But this is not funny. Took him home and found the mother drunk. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Some of them are high on something. They don't even know what the planet is talking about. All they know is that they have children. Even if you ask them the name of their children, so they can't even remember the name of the children. These are not the type of mothers we are talking about. Those kind of mothers, I don't know what to say. When you are drunk yourself and your child is driving without license or without insurance, and now they found you drunk. So what kind of mother are you? What kind of parent are you? So parents need to do more. I don't know. We can't overemphasize on these things. We have to keep talking. We have to keep talking. Yeah. You can sometimes they can't help. However, I agree with you. Yeah, but the thing is, if people really plan, as AA said there, at least one person decide, two of you, I know that we all need the money, but one person decide maybe to work more, the other person works around the school time. There are some parents who work, they call it term time only. They only work during the school. Some employers will employ term time only mothers. So when you take your children to school, you go to work, you work for 6 hours, when the time the children finishes. Thank you so much. Sorry, Spices. Thank you for your input. You've gone down now. So when the children finish about 3:30, which is the time they finish here in the UK, so the person normally works maybe 9 till 3. So she's already dropped the children in school, and then they work term time only. During the summer holiday, they don't work. They are very part-time mothers. Some employers have loads of mothers like that. So you can do something like that. And when your children are at certain age, like mine now, or all adults, you can do whatever you want to do, you know. But first thing first, the children grow so quick. I've always said this, they grow so quick. So make allowances. They did not ask you to bring them into the world. So stop making excuses. Oh, I have 4 children. What do you want me to do? The way they will be saying it as if it's you that made them to have 4 children. I have 3 children. I have 4 children. What do you expect me to do? If I don't go to work, how am I going to feed them? And they'll be aggressive, as if you are the one that told them to have 3 or 4 children. Have the number you can manage and then work around them. You may not have all the money in the world around that time you're managing them, but eventually, if you are pursuing money and also pursuing looking after the children, one thing will give. One thing will give. One thing you will lack in one. So that's why you have to get your priorities right and decide which one is your priority. And to me, raising up your children properly is your priority. Money will come when it will come. I think we have to stop here. Stop sleeping in class. Musisi was sleeping while you were talking. You nailed it as Spice up with Oma dear. Yes, Ngozi's creativity. Yes, her input was spot on. Musisi, wake up. Dear mommy, I'll leave to pay attention to my husband. Just arrived. Yes, Yambura, good. Do that. Pay attention to him, Biko. That's the most very, very important. Thank you so much for that. Go and pay attention to your husband, my dear. Thank you for being here and for your input as well. Who else? That's why I'm sleeping. God bless you, dear mommy, and everyone in the chat. My house is very rich tomorrow. My house is very rich tomorrow. Hey, I don't understand. Do anybody understand what she meant by this? My house is very rich tomorrow. Okay, whatever that means. If your house is very rich tomorrow, that's what we want. But I don't understand what she meant by that. Bye, Natty and everyone. Spicy, what Mrs. Okay. me born them. Especially, sorry, exactly. Can't be telling me, I have 4 children. And they'll be saying it aggressively, as if it's your fault that they have 4 children or they have children at all. I have 4 children, I have to look after them. Why can't I work? Hey, I'm like, you are fighting with me, telling me you have 4 children. Did I send you? Did I send you? No, it's your decision, you and your husband. So you walk around them. And the children should not be. Who was I listening to? I was listening to somebody's channel. It wasn't live stream, it was somebody's video this morning or yesterday. And the person was talking about, remind me if you're here, the person I watched her video talking about a woman who she hasn't seen for a little while. Then the next thing she saw her with big tummy, she was pregnant again, and she already has 3, and that was the 4th one. And as soon as she have the children, once they start working or get to a certain age, she'll send them out to start begging. Whose channel was I watching? It was one of the people here today. Anyway, so that's what they said that this woman does. She'll have the children and they will go out begging. I'm like, so from the time the child was born, they're already in suffering, and you choose to have them so they can go out there as soon as possible to start begging. What kind of upbringing is that? Olufunke said that was thank you, Funke. You saw the video I'm talking about. Thank you. It's on his TV. I was watching. Thank you for that. Yes. Born to beg. Yes, exactly. Sometimes the children come even when you don't want again. Nancy, I know I agree. I know it happens, but I say, look at me and heat. Whew. Nancy, let's talk about that one. Look at my forehead. Heat. Nancy, let's talk about that one. What's in now? This is 2023. Sometimes the children come without. Hi, Nancy. Mba. It happens so, but what I'm trying to say is that we cannot be using that as an excuse. Not in this 2023. You see, one woman will say, don't count children now. It's God that gives. When they come, you take them. I'm like, people are just saying something that I don't understand. Mistake. Some people take you, it's a mistake. Some people will use the word accident. It's an accident. I had an accident. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, no, but we know what we can do to prevent these things. And if he fails, like as I said, coil failed me, and that's how I ended up with 4 myself. But so I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but as mean, I don't know how you can interpret that in English for AA and the rest who don't understand Igbo. Every time you keep blaming one thing, is it that thing that I don't know how you can explain that in the English language? They should double the condom, I beg. They should do something. Maybe if you do one, some people have 3, they tell you that all the 3 that they're mistake. And we didn't really plan to have that, but it just happened. Meaning what now? 1 is a mistake. Number 2 and 3, no longer mistake. I don't accept that. People should do better and have compassion on those children. How can a child start suffering from the time they come out of the womb? You see a mother breastfeeding a child, that mother is very weak. There's nothing coming out from. So that child is already suffering from the time they come out from the womb. They don't even have enough breast milk to suck. Never mind any other thing in life. It's not fair now. Because that child did not ask you to bring them. Even if it's an accident, even if it's a mistake, it's not the child's mistake, it's your mistake. Do something about it. Do something about it. And this one that will keep having and then taking them out to start begging. What does that mean? Is that mistake as well? So, but Nancy, I agree. I understand what you are saying, though. Sometimes the children come even when I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, if it's 1, yes, but people are doing that all the time and then saying that they don't want again, but they keep coming. So, anyway, when they are enjoying, was I there? So sad. That was on his channel. Yes, it was on his channel. How can you be children born to beg? What kind of upbringing is that? What have these children done to deserve this? It breaks my heart to see children suffering like this, because you should have, if you have kept yourself quiet, you wouldn't have the children. So why, if you're not ready for them, why are you having them? To go out there and start begging, at what age? Eh? It's not good. Because these children should not be made to be suffering from young age. Or closed leg, if they can't double the round of skin to skin. Other kinds of family planning people can use, even if it's not using the condom, they can use other things. We'll have different room. Different room. Oh my God, he's reading. Don't corrupt Musisio. He's reading all comments. Yeah, Musis is hiding somewhere, reading everything, observing everything, and then he'll come out and tell you what you said before to tell you that he's listening. Read my comments. It's encrypted. You can come out of the corner now. Oh my God. He should remain there. That's his punishment. Mommy, what about the Uganda woman who gave birth to 42 children and no doctor can help her? Hey, I haven't heard of that one. Now, come on. Now, Nancy, what do you mean that no doctor can help her? Tell me more. Has anybody heard of this person? 42 children? Were they one? Were they triplets, quadruplets? Or did she have pregnancy 42 times? Has anybody heard of this Ugandan woman? I'm going to search for it. I've never heard of this before. Did she have these children just one from her womb 42 times? Or were there sets of quadruplets and triplets and double whatever? Tell me more, Nancy. I heard of her. Hey, Natty said that she heard of her as well. 42 children. Hey, and counting. Oh, meaning, hey, Chineke. Oh, she had multiples, really. But 42. That is mind-blowing. She had 2, some 3, some 4, and more. Really. And when you say, Natty, since you've read about it, say that I subscribe to her son's page. Really. And that no doctor can help her. What does that mean when you say no doctor can help her? What does that mean? She can't do family planning. She can't do tube ligation or ligation, whatever they call it. So she can't do anything like that. Tie her tubes. They are like community. No, there must be something. When they say no doctor can help her, I don't understand that. Something must be done to help to, I think I saw somebody come in. Hold on. My niece. Yeah. Favor Chijioke. Wow. Well done, mommy. Favor Chijioke is my niece from Nigeria. Wow. You came into my live stream today. Hey. Favor, you're very welcome. You are favored in Jesus' name. Thank you for coming. We are supposed to have finished. But you know how this live stream goes. You say you are about to finish. People will be coming in. There will be interesting comments. You want to talk about it, and you're still here. And kudos to people in Nigeria who are watching me. Funke and Nancy, are you in Nigeria? And who else is from Nigeria? Funke has been here for a while. I know what it means with your data and everything. Maureen was here earlier. I don't know whether she's still here. Kudos to you. Oh, I know we also use data where we are, but it's not the same as what you suffer from over there. So I appreciate you a lot when you are from Nigeria or from any African country where you're strong. I mean, Nigeria. See, Nancy has been here for a while as well. So I appreciate you all. That is what you call support. No matter the amount of data and everything, they were still here, supporting. And I do not take your support for granted. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Yes, you're in Nigeria. That's right. Yeah, thank you so much. I don't think she's going to have any more. Let her continue. Natty said, I don't think she's going to have any more. No, after 42, let her have more. This is like having a village. It's not having a community, a real community, because this is no more family. I don't think she's going to have more. But she's still young. 42. I'm going to search for that. I want to read. I want to read about that story. Well done, Mommy Nancy. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Mama's handprint just came in. Thank you so much for coming. Well, we have spent 2.5 hours and we are about to round up. But I appreciate your presence here. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. It's always so lively when we have these live streams. Sometimes we want to go, we don't want to go. We want to spend some time more because we talk about, very important things. Then we also bring some fun into it, and that makes it what it is. So next week, Sunday, we are reverting back to our normal 4 p.m. live stream. Next week will be on Ifechi Health and Wellness. I have important health update for us to discuss next week, Sunday, to be 4 p.m. UK time and Nigerian time. Ifechi Health and Wellness. Today we talk about family. Again, we have to talk about health because without having our health all together, we cannot actually help ourselves, never mind helping our families. So we have to catch up with our health topic next Sunday, which will be the second Sunday of October. No family plan is working for her. Is you really? How about tubal ligation? That one is not working for her as well. Tying her tubes. You know how some men do vasectomy. No, our men, you can see, I don't know how many African or Nigerian men that will do vasectomy. But here it's very easy. Men here, Igbo men, they just go and do vasectomy. They think that their wife have gone through enough having pregnancy, having the baby, is for them to do the needful, and they go and do vasectomy. That means that's their own family planning, and and sometimes it was the other way around because sometimes their marriage here don't last that long. And then the man will be wondering, what did I do vasectomies for? I'm not going into a different relationship. It can some of them can be reversed, I think. But men freely do vasectomy here. But African mentality, sometimes our men don't want to hear that. So it still boils down to the woman to do the needful to help herself from having left the WhatsApp group. Nigerian men left the WhatsApp group. Which WhatsApp group, Funke? No family plan is working for her. The husband ran away. Where is he running to? He says his husband ran away. Oh my God. Nigerian men ran away from the group. Which group though? Did I miss something? The live stream is interesting. Ngozi's creativity. Oh, thank you, Ngozi. Thank you for that. The man ran away. Nigerian man ran away from the group. Which group? Vasectomy. And look at what I'm saying. Nigerian man who wants to hear that? You're going down there for what? To do what? Because if you don't even go there. I see what you mean now. He left the group because you don't want to hear. With that amount of children, how does she get cozy with the husband easily without distraction from the baby? I know, because there'll be children everywhere. It will just be like one mad house. I wonder how many. In fact, I don't want to. I don't even want to think about it. I have a friend here that I know that have 11 children. To me, those 11 children are mind blowing. I look at her. How do you? Her own was there's no twin. She had pregnancies 11 times. But to tell me that somebody has 42, it's like I can't even imagine it. To start with, I can't imagine it. So yeah. Okay, Versatile Nurse Francis, thank you for coming. I know maybe where you are or what you do on Sundays makes it very late for you to come in. We are supposed to have finished half an hour ago, and we are definitely finishing now. Thank you so much for coming. If you are able, you can replay for me and to get what we have discussed. But we have discussed very important family matters today, which I will not go back into now because we have now gone ahead of what we're supposed to finish today. So we must leave now. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate your presence today, as always. Nancy, my spicy AA, Stylus Frances, Nancy, Funke, Natty Slim, Ngozi's creativity, Mama's handprint,
handprint, sorry. And every other person in the background, you know, Nati, I've mentioned you, Favor, I've mentioned you, and the former Lewis was here before. Musisi is still hiding where he is. Linda Nenya was here. Ujono Wunyambura. There's quite a lot of people that have come and gone. I appreciate each and every one of you. Gores Corner was here earlier on. Momo, Maureen Chinonso was here before as well. Oni TV was also here. Yes, there's quite a lot of people that came and gone. And those of you who have remained with me for this length of time, I do not take you for granted. Uche Mwezi was here as well before. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Those who have watched from the background as well, I thank you all. And yeah, thank you, everyone. Have a blessed week. And whatever it is that you are looking for this week that is in the will of God, God will grant all your heart desires. And by the spicy, are we ever going back to Freaky Friday? I know, Funke, when that Freaky Friday was happening, hey, I know Funke was on board. A spicy answer before I close. There was a question there from Funke, that Freaky Friday, she misses it. It's been an interesting live stream. Thank you so much, Funke. But before I go, oh yeah, spicy, answer Funke before I go. I've greeted everybody. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Spicy, answer. I'm waiting for your answer before I close. Funke asked you a question. Miss Funke. Yeah, so I remember that time. She doesn't miss it though. You can see all the present members. They will all come and be waiting. In fact, she does her live stream that time. Spicy used to do her live stream almost every day or every evening. But Friday ones, hey, come and see all these people. I'm like, all of you. I can see you all. But yeah, for now, she's not. But we are hoping that will eventually come. Thank you once again, everyone. I've mentioned all your names, people who I can see here and people in the background. I love you all. May God be with you all, bless you and keep you. And we'll meet again by God's grace, 4 p.m. UK time, Ifechi Health and Wellness. We have important health discussion. For the time being, please look after yourself and spread love, not hate. No animosity. Don't have any place in your heart to hate anybody or to bear grudge. You don't want to have, people are having some form of cancer. You don't want to have cancer of bitterness. That one is that kind of cancer. Nothing cares. There's no chemotherapy for that one. And you don't want to have that. Love you too, mommy. Yes, I love you all. Thank you, everyone. And have a blessed week. Goodbye. And I'm signing out. Thank you. Love you all.